Happy Saturday, except today's actually Sunday. But I really wish I had recorded yesterday because yesterday was Saturday, March 20th, week 11 of 2021. Monday is when daylight savings hit us pretty hard in the morning. The little daylight savings jet lag of the spring, bringing forward our clocks 1 hour. It's not as bad as real jet lag, but if we could do without daylight savings, I'd be happy about it. Although I do have to say I love the evening light of daylight savings in the springtime. It's nice to have the sun not go down quite so early. We've had quite a bit of rain lately too, and everything's getting green. Even here in Tulsa where we are this weekend, it's quite a bit greener than it was this time last week. Looks like we're probably gonna have to mow the lawn soon. On Tuesday, I was thinking about more story ideas. There's things I'd like to tell of stories throughout our family history, and then just stories that I like that I'd like to retell that I've heard in various places. I got a copy of one of my favorite books. I used to have a copy of it years ago called All I Really Need to Know, or Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. The new one that I picked up is the 25th anniversary edition, and it has some additional stories in it that I've never heard before. So I'm looking forward to reading those. Somebody told me recently that the reason you see so many dilapidated barns out in the countryside is because for some reason it's bad luck to tear down a barn. Is that true? Anybody else out there know anything about that history or that superstition? I'd like to hear more about that. Wednesday was St. Patrick's Day, or as I posted on Facebook, Maywoonsocket Day. This is what I learned on Wednesday, is that Maywoonsocket was the original name of St. Patrick. And I also learned that he wasn't Irish. He was actually British. As a teenager, he had been taken into slavery in Ireland and then went back to Britain and then decided to go back as a missionary to Ireland. Wednesday evening, we went over and visited with a few friends at their house, had a Guinness to celebrate the day. That was a fun time just laughing with them. Hadn't seen them in many, many months. I think it was last week I was joking about the fact that we might get a snowstorm on the first day of spring. Well, we didn't get a snowstorm on the first day of spring, but last Thursday we did get a bunch of beautiful snow coming down in the morning, and by noon it was completely gone. So hopefully that's our last snow between now and next winter. Thursday night, Jill and I sat down and watched the old movie Coming to America and the brand new one, watched them back to back. It was funny. There was good parts in those. I had forgotten a lot of the old movies. Friday, I worked, and then we drove here to Tulsa to visit friends of ours for her birthday. That night, we went to a wonderful restaurant called The Bistro, Italian restaurant that was just fantastic food. And of course, it was great hanging out with our friends. Recently came across, sometime this past week, a video, David Hoffman's, again, David Hoffman, filmmaker, great YouTube channel. If you haven't seen it, if you like documentary type stuff, his stuff is just wonderful. The video I came across of his was a interview that he had done with Thomas Dolby. If you're not familiar with him, you probably are familiar with his song, She Blinded Me with Science from the 80s. That was his biggest hit, I believe. He also had a great one that I liked a lot called Hyperactive. But the interview with him and him talking about what happened with the whole process of creating the song and the video for She Blinded Me with Science. It was really interesting. He had the guy that's on the song that sounds like a scientist is a scientist, and he was kind of what was the guy's name? I want to say it was something Pike. Magnus Pike? Something like that. But he was the Bill Nye type of science guy in Britain at the time. People in Britain, of course, would know this guy's name because they had seen him on TV, being a lot like what our Bill Nye was like. Saturday morning, all four of us got up and we all went and got pedicures. Now, I used to be one of those guys that would laugh at the idea of guys going out to get pedicures. But I tell you what, it's one of the most relaxing things in the entire world. And no, I didn't get my toenails painted all pretty. I didn't get them painted at all. They just massage your feet and trim up your nails really nice. It's just so relaxed. It reminded me of when my parents were in massage school. They would use us as their guinea pigs for their massage hours that they needed for school. I just remember that feeling of getting massage where you walk out of the clinic and you're just the most relaxed you've ever been in your life. Wonderful feeling. Same thing with the pedicures. My only regret is that I hadn't gone and gotten one sooner because that was really nice. Sunday this morning, we slept in a little bit, and then we all went to a place I hadn't been to before. They're starting to pop up all over the place. A place called the Big Biscuit. And it's just a really great breakfast place. Hadn't had a breakfast that good in a long time. And that brings us up to today, Sunday. We're here in Tulsa, visiting friends. We'll be heading back. It's about a 2.5, 3-hour drive. We just want to get back before dark and enjoy the drive because today looks absolutely beautiful. Perfect day for driving. Well, that wraps up week 11 of 2021. Have a great week. We'll see you next week.